ass.
No, your girl is sweating me, okay?
She's sweating you because you need some AC up in this mother.
Now, after doing my Boomerang review, I started getting so many requests to review this film. 5 minutes into it, I totally see why it was recommended. Oddly enough, this film has similar scenes and themes as A Thin Line and Boomerang. Also, this is a 97 film. And I don't know what it was about the year 1997, but baby, the black creators were in their bag. But Dre was an absolute miss. A scoundrel, a schemer, a slut bucket. And as always, I've noticed a few things while watching this movie, and you know we're going to talk about it, so let's get into it. So this movie starts off in a typical 90s black movie fashion. We walk into a scene, things are happening, and we see a peek of the ending, and of course we have to figure out how we got here by watching the rest of the movie. Well, baby Dre is getting his soul snatched by a shinkashay, and his girlfriend Lisa comes in and she's seeing all these questionable things in his apartment. Clearly something is going on. She finally catches him in the act, and baby, he's about to go in.
What the hell's going on in here?
Lisa?
Son of a bitch!
But of course, it was a dream, and we are officially introduced to Dre.
Getting caught is a bitch, so I've been told.
What's so crazy about this movie is that it starts off exactly like A Thin Line. I guess late 90s movies had a template to follow for the reformed player storyline or something. But yeah, we see him getting ready for the day, loving on himself in the mirror, getting rid of evidence. Speaking of evidence, this guy is the king of covering his ass, okay? First off, he gets rid of the panties, erases the voicemails, and speaking of the voicemails, like, when were these created? Was it over the course of a week, a few days, a single day? Ew. And it's during this scene where we are introduced to the whole panel. Baby, we got a Caribbean girl, a white girl, a cougar, and some girl speaking French. Baby, a whole roster on the voicemail. Oh, but he's not done. He changes the photo in this frame to reflect his main girl, Lisa, who just so happens to be knocking on the door. One thing I thought about when it comes to Lisa is, first of all, she's played by Lark Voorhees, who played Lisa Turtle in Saved by the Bell. I never noticed she had the same name in this movie as she does in the series, but then she works in fashion in this movie, and Lisa Turtle loved fashion, so I immediately went to the credits to confirm her last name. And her character's name is just Lisa, no last name. So I don't know if this was intentional or just a coincidence, but anyway, she comes in to see him before she goes to work. She looks so pretty here. She comes in to see his place is a mess. He immediately tries to get him some, but she doesn't have time since she has volunteered to clean his place and cook him breakfast. And clearly this is a casual thing, but there is no way. I'm not cleaning your place and mine. That's too much. She then goes in his room, and as she's picking up his jeans, she sees his wallet and decides to check it for numbers, which there were none. She only finds a picture of her. She then glances at his voicemail and notices there are 7 unread messages, and she asks him why he hadn't bothered to check them.
So I'm sure you won't mind if I check them, right?
Do I come over your place and go through your stuff?
No. Dre, because you know I have nothing to hide. Don't go there. We are talking about your machine.
So Dre immediately makes her feel guilty about checking his machine, and as he finally agrees to let her hear it, her guilt makes her regret asking. His plan works. Manipulation 101.
You don't have to play it, okay? No, Dre, we're gonna leave it there because you know what? I trust you.
So Dre goes down to get the mail and talk to the freaky ass doorman. He's just casually reading porn mags on the job in the lobby. And you know, as soon as Dre left his apartment, Lisa was going to listen to those voicemails. And she does, and instantly regrets it.
Hi, Dre, it's Mama. How you and sweet little Lisa doing?
Oh
Is
my
your mama
God,
home,
his mother.
Mary? Dre, this is Grandmama.
His
And
grandmother!
Ron,
Oh
this is
no,
Nancy.
anybody but his
Check that.
grandmother.
Meanwhile, Dre knows that there's a high chance that Lisa is going to snoop, so of course he's covered his bases already.
See, even the most trustworthy girl will check that answering machine. So just changed the date.
I'm not sure how long he was down there talking to the freaky ass doorman, but by the time he comes back up, she's already made him pancakes and eggs. As he sits down, the phone rings and Lisa teases like she's going to answer it, but decides not to because she trusts him. Which is unfortunate because one of his other girls are on the line.
Hello?
Hi, baby. Did you get my message?
Sure I did. I love you too, baby.
After he hangs up the phone, she asks him who he was talking to, and the crazy part is he tells her the truth, but because he says it in a joking manner, it goes right over her head.
Who was on the phone?
Oh, Sherry, this big booty girl I was boning last night.
From here, his sister Jenny, played by Natalie DeSalle, love her and her comedic timing, she carried. And she was so cute here as well. She comes in like fire. Child, she's coming over to get one of their mother's pots for the barbecue and to bust her brother's chops. She couldn't wait to plant a seed in Lisa's mind.
Girl, I don't know why you sweating over that stove over there. He ain't nothing but a roach-ass ghetto pimp.
So as Jenny goes to get the leftover pancakes, it's time for Lisa and Dre to say goodbye to each other. And baby Jenny hears something that no sister wants to hear about their brother.
Tell man Dingo I'll see him later, okay?
Tell him yourself.
No.
Talk to
Dre,
him, just talk to him.
No!
And their sibling banter is so hilarious. Jenny instantly gets on him about Lisa and how he doesn't deserve her. And you know Dre is not trying to hear that at all. And while the sibling banter continues, there is a knock at the door. Jenny's friend Katrina is here to meet her. At first, Dre is not excited to meet another one of Jenny's friends, but that quickly changes once he opens the door.
Well, hello there.
Baby, once he sees her, he can't even concentrate. He's fumbling all around, looking all nervous. As Katrina compliments his place, Jenny starts with the planting of the seeds.
You have a really nice place. Just some cheap shit.
Child, this whole scene is hilarious. It's a sibling battle to the 10th power. Katrina lets Dre know that she's heard a lot about him, and Jenny lets Dre know that what she heard is all facts and not the fairy tale that he'll try to sell her.
Yeah, I told her everything about you.
What?
How you a pimp and a player and you got all these hoes chasing your ass.
He tries his best to divert Katrina's attention, but Jenny's coming in hot with the truth. He then goes on a tangent on how sister's friends are a dream because they hear so much about you and want to figure out if it's true. And then we go back to Katrina, who of course wants to know if he truly is what his sister says, and Jenny doesn't even give him a second to lie.
But Jenny says you're a pimp.
Yep. Pimping and hoeing like there's no tomorrow.
There's another buzz from the lobby. Dre's boys, Spooty and Kilo, are downstairs waiting for him. But before he heads down, he invites Katrina to a Malibu party, and Jenny tries her best to rescind the invite, but it's not working. Dre then signals for Jenny to meet him upstairs so that they can talk about Katrina in peace. Dre is convinced Katrina wants him.
Your girl wants to give me some ass.
Like, how does he even know this off of a simple conversation? And he continues to go on and on about how Katrina's sweating him. Like how?
No, your girl is sweating me, okay?
She's sweating you because you need some AC up in this motherfucker.
Meanwhile, Katrina is hearing all of this. Homeboy forgot this was a loft, but they continue going back and forth. Jenny declares that women like her and Katrina are far too smart for Dre's bullshit, but then Dre swiftly pulls her card.
Oh, like you was too smart for Michael Jones who dropped you like a bad habit.
Why you had to throw him up in my face like that?
Baby, she is clearly traumatized. And then Dre goes on to say how he tried to warn her about him, but she didn't listen. And because she didn't listen, she's now a statistic. This asshole. But he didn't bet on Katrina hearing this.
Now you just a statistic. Yeah, and I'm gonna have a ball making your girl Katrina a statistic too.
And as he leaves out, Katrina's whole vibe has changed because from this point, she knows she's got to make an example out of him. Meanwhile, his boys are teaching this freaky ass doorman about the origins of the term onion booty.
Oh, I get it, because booty is an ass, and onion makes you cry.
Yeah.
So it's onion booty. that makes a grown man cry.
Yeah.
But before they head out, Dre asks the freaky ass doorman if he wants a plate. He then asks Dre what will they be having, and Dre lets him know what's up in an unconventional way.
Got some candy yams, potato salad, some chicken. I can't wait.
And then it goes left. Really left.
Could you rub him a little more? Because I'm starting to get excited by it.
What?
No! Come back! Come back! The hell with these women! Bring that fat, bald guy back here! I want to caress his sweaty, black, bald head!
Baby, as soon as Dre leaves the house, women just show up. We meet Barbara, a fitness instructor who lives in the same building. And baby, Barbara only has eyes and clearly respect for Dre.
Did I introduce you to my friend Kilo? Oh, hey, what's up, sexy?
Your weight.
I love a woman that can make me laugh. Yeah.
Baby, just rude as hell. So his friends are bigging him up about Barbara, but Dre tells them that he wants no part of any woman that stays in the same building because it's destined to create problems. Problems that he is all too familiar with. But this goes right over his boys' heads.
But we don't live here.
So we go to another one of Dre's friends, David, who is in the middle of a situation. His girl, Nadine, is huffing, puffing, and about to knock his door down because she knows he's got another woman over, and she's right. And David stupidly tries to crack the door open. For what? I don't know.
That girl did not tell you never to come over here unless you call first.
Why you got the chain in the girl like you don't even know me? Huh?
Nadine, it's not a good time for us to talk.
Oh, no, we gonna talk. Okay, we gonna talk today.
I don't know why he thought that would work. Baby, that inner Memphis came out of Elise during this scene when she busted through that door. But anyway, Nadine comes in and it's a mess.
I can tell something's been going on here. I can just smell it. I can just smell it. I know it.
Girl, you need to run. Like, what are you doing? So the phone continues to ring and Dre starts getting a feeling that something may be wrong. And that feeling is right because Nadine notices that old girl got on the same shirt that Nadine bought David.
I know that this bitch does not have on the shirt
No, that's not yours.
that I bought your trifling ass with my hard-earned money. Oh, you didn't open up a whole can of ass whooping that. What's up, Miss Vanity?
So old girl has had enough and she decides to slap the piss out of David. And you know Nadine didn't like that because that's her man. And she's the only one that can slap the piss out of him.
You all right, baby?
Baby, come on, sweetie.
You okay? God, liar.
As this is happening, Dre and his boys finally show up and they pull up to some mess. David goes from begging baby please to putting on the front when he sees his boys. The guys go into his place and baby, it's a mess. Hurricane Nadine came through and spared nothing. And Spooty and Kilo didn't spare his feelings. Not one bit.
Oh man, I'm saying, man, look how he dressed, man. He butt naked in some cowboy boots. See, now what Nadine need is a real cowboy behind her, hitting that ass.
See, what you doing?
I'm about to whoop his ass.
Spooty stayed talking mad shit this whole movie. But David insists that he had this whole situation under control. How he finally stood his ground, but the lie detector and the state of his living room determined that that's a whole entire lie. And then Dre asked him a question that I'm sure everyone wanted the answer to.
You know what your first mistake was, man? Why did you even bring her here? Why did you let Nadine in?
Look at the door. Does the door look like I let Nadine in?
You look like you knocked that bitch off the hinge.
We go back to his sister and Katrina. They are snooping in his place, trying to find some evidence, but the CYA King already has that covered. As they're searching, Katrina asks her if she knows how many women he has, but it's coming from a place of selfish curiosity, if you know what I mean. Like, you say he a hoe, but like, how much of a hoe type of thing. Katrina tries to lighten the mood by saying that not all men are pimps and players, just as all women are not bitches and hoes. And Jenny is sensing that her girl's motivation is wavering, so she decides to help her refocus.
My brother is a dog. All of his friends are dogs, and Michael Jones is the dog of
that's what this is all about.
Baby girl is traumatized. But then she goes on to tell her what she's heard about her brother, and child Katrina is intrigued.
They told me how much of a cold freak he was in bed. Like with the ice and handcuffs and hot lotion and nipple pinchers and feathers and fried zucchini and baby diapers. Oh, like I want to know all of that.
I do.
Yeah, Katrina's definitely trying to We go back to Dre and his boys. They are still talking about women, and he lets his boys know that his sister is snooping through his place and he knows all about it. As this is happening, we go back to see Katrina sitting on his bed having fantasies about Dre. Hearing his voice, this girl is as good as gone, and Dre knows this.
Thanks to Jenny, Katrina's a done dish. The booty is just marinating for me.
He then decides to call his house phone so that he can prove to his boys that he knows what's up. And Jenny answers the phone, acting like she's one of his many women to mess him up, but it doesn't work in her favor.
Stop, baby, stop.
What you doing answering my phone?
Huh?
Caught red-handed, mouth wide open.
I knocked over the phone by accident.
Baby, this must have been before caller ID. But anyway, Dre tells them he knows about their research plans. Jenny then tells him that he might as well enjoy his last moments of being a player because she's about to blow his game up. But Dre is not worried.
Look, how many times I gotta tell you players never get busted?
I am so sick of brothers thinking that they are players.
Oh, like Michael Jones?
Baby, his cover is blown, and Jenny realizes that he had her on speakerphone to flex in front of his friends, just to hurt the girl's poor feelings. She hangs up in his face. He ends up feeling bad and tries to call her back and apologize, but it's a no-go. In Jenny's mind, it's on and popping. Mission take down a player has begun.
I got a display for his ass. We going to Maxwell's party so all his girls can meet in the flesh.
Create a hostile environment,
And a player will repent and reform.
So from here, we meet some of Dre's girls. The first girl, woman, is Robin, an unhappily married cougar. Dre comes in and Robin instantly starts complaining about her husband, Buster. And while Dre's trying to make her feel better, guess who pulls up in the driveway? Yep, you guessed it, Buster himself. Buster sees Dre's boys outside playing music all loud in front of his home, and he confronts them.
Cut your fucking music down in front of my house, man. People live on this block. You beige motherfucker. You don't vote. Fucking rappers, all you do is eat shit. Fuck.
I mean, he goes in. And when he comes in the house, Robin and Dre have to think quick on their feet. Robin is obviously startled by his presence and asks him this.
Honey, why are you here?
What you think I'm doing here? I live here.
Yeah, she clearly doesn't like her husband. And by the way his attention goes straight to the plants, he might subconsciously feel the same way about her.
You take care of my babies? My plant?
Yes, I have.
They look kind of dry, honey.
They're not dry,
They
sweetheart.
look dry to me.
And while he's checking on his plants, she notices Dre's jacket on the arm of the couch, and to prevent Buster from seeing it, she tells him that she saw a bug on one of his plants. This distraction allows Dre to leave the room, but baby Buster still knows something's amiss.
No.
Baby, it's stinking here. It's starting to fuck with my heart.
Oh, honey, it's your asthma. Come have some tea.
Meanwhile, Dre's boys pull back up even louder than they were before, but Buster ain't worried about them because he's finally about to get him some.
You got my oven on again. I knew we gonna make love again after 4 years. I'm gonna drink my ginseng.
Did this guy just say 4 years? Child, she don't want you. But as soon as he gets excited, he gets an unsuspecting surprise.
Dre!
Dre,
Drain. Don't worry about the drain. The drain is fine.
who in the
everything.
fuck is this?
Clearly, Dre is quick on his feet because he done made up this whole story about him being a plumber, and Buster actually believes this and offers to refer him to his neighbors if he gives him a card. And while reaching for the card, something else comes out of his pockets instead, and baby Dre makes a run for it. We go back to his sister and Katrina, and they are brainstorming and trying to figure out what Dre's password for his Rolodex of sorts could be.
What do these women really mean to him? Oh, girl, all these women mean to him is puss.
And child, it's on and popping. We go back to Dre and his boys. Next stop is Amber, the wannabe actress. Dre warns the guys that this is not the neighborhood to be blasting their music in, and he makes his way inside. And much to David's shock, Amber is not what he expected.
You know what got my fine sis? Oh, hell no.
And apparently this excited Kilo and Spooty, because baby, they hop out the car so that they can get a front row seat. Meanwhile, Amber is ready for her role, child, giving 90s Spice Channel realness, okay? And while Spooty and Kilo continue to try to find a way to view the show, if you will, David takes this as the opportunity to reach out to Nadine, but it's not going well at all.
Come on, baby. Come on.
You can't call me baby, okay? See, you've got to earn this shit, okay? As far as I'm concerned, your tired ass is dismissed.
Poor David, he around here fronting, trying to be a player, and it's not working for him. Meanwhile, Spooty and Kilo have found a way to spy on their boy, but Kilo gets a little too excited and lets one go.
Damn, why you let it go?
Why you let it go?
Meanwhile, Jenny and Katrina are inviting each girl to the Malibu party at Maxwell's. We go back to Dre and his boys, and we're off to the next girl, Ashinka Shay, who ironically Jenny and Katrina call while she's doing Dre, straight up interrupting their session.
Did I catch you at a bad time?
Oh, woman to woman. Hell yeah, who is this?
Girl, stand up. And Jenny wasn't grossed out enough for me, because if that was my brother, I would have dropped the phone and poured bleach in my ears. But she goes on to invite her to the party. And baby, Ashinka Shay is adventurous and sex crazed because she don't want to let Dre go. And Dre would have had me messed up. We around here sitting outside in the Cali sun while you freak on all your women. We trying to get to the barbecue and eat. This is not what we signed up for. And David finally has enough and decides to go in and get Dre. We go back to Jenny and Katrina, and they have completed their calls, and it's then that Jenny finally remembers why she originally came over her brother's house. This girl totally forgot about the pot her mama needed, so they rush over to the barbecue. We go back to David, who has gone up to get Dre. He walks into Ashinka Shay's apartment and gets the shock of his life. It's a whole new world in there. And while David makes up a quick lie about his sister, Ashinka Shay referencing the call from earlier lets him know that she knows, and he's confused because he just made up a lie. But really, he was too focused on this to even care. We finally make it to their mom's barbecue, and these boys are begging for hot sauce. I wonder how they are now. They were in everything around this time. And while the boys are about to go into the barbecue, they catch David trying to baby please Nadine.
I done told y'all I'm too through with that headache. This is my new girl. This is Maria.
Why the fuck you lying? Why you always lying?
When it comes to the food, Kilo understood the assignment. He tips the uncle on the grill so he gets first dibs. But clearly, David should have followed suit. Dre's mom asks why he didn't bring his girlfriend, and Spooty almost sells him out by asking which one. Mama don't know he a whole hoe out here, and it's clear that only Lisa is mama worthy. We then go to the table where everyone's eating, and why are they reaching over Katrina's food? They would have pulled back a nub. Rude. And why was Jenny staring at Dre so hard?
What kind of dog are you? A poodle or a chihuahua?
I'm wondering, where should I send your ass? To Jenny Jones or Jenny Craig?
Jenny, being in her petty mood, tried to introduce Katrina to David, but baby David only wants Nadine at this point. The boys spot Peaches, one of their Uncle Fred's girls, so Dre suggests that they go meet him. See, Uncle Fred is the whole entire reason Dre is how he is. We go back to the grill master, if you will, and I swear he has on the universal grill master uniform. The hat, the cream linen shirt, I bet he even got on the sandals. But he goes on to take digs at these boys, and baby, they squash that real quick.
Oh, look at them. Looking like two big M&Ms sitting over there.
Man, to heck with you, you old drunk. You don't know nothing.
You know, if I had a side of a mountain, I'd kick your fat ass.
You old bastard.
Nah, he didn't have the sandals. See, that's why that chicken burnt. He not bringing the right energy. Kilo goes on to ask Uncle Fred for advice, and baby, he spews the most toxic shit I have ever heard in my life.
And a woman's shit is tight from birth, man. Because, you see, a woman wants to be played, has to be played, needs to be played in order for the continuation of this man-woman thing.
Straight bullshit. But anyway, the boys leave out and say goodbye to Dre's mom, and as Dre says goodbye and makes up an excuse as to why he has to go, Jenny quickly realizes that she's going to be stuck helping her mom clean up after the barbecue. Yeah, she don't like that. And Dre is a trash-ass friend, cause he straight up strands Spooty and Kilo out the blue.
What we about to do now, baby? Yo, y'all about to go to the bus stop, kid.
Like, how you gonna do that? Why he couldn't drop them off but kept David? He don't mess with them for real, y'all. But David goes to try to call Nadine yet again, and Dre tries to stop him. And Spooty and Kilo are walking towards the bus stop. They run into Buster yet again, but instead of warning Dre, they decide to let the chips fall as they may and continue off to the bus stop. They were in their feelings, but it's not too long before they spot Buster for themselves.
What?
Buster.
Buster? Buster.
Baby, they are out of there, and Kilo and Spooty are living for this. As they are laughing at Buster and making jokes, baby, Buster spooks the hell out of them.
What the fuck is wrong with you? I'll show you what's fucking wrong with me. Yo, this motherfucker got a gun, man.
Dre and David make it back to Dre's place to get ready for the Malibu party. Dre tells David that he's about to freshen up and get ready, but David reminds him that he's been wearing the same thing all day and needs a fit for the party. Dre reluctantly offers to lend him a fit, even though he has trouble giving them back.
This time, you gotta return my stuff, man.
Me return? I ain't got none of your stuff.
What about the blue shirt I let you hold?
What blue shirt you let me hold?
This blue shirt?
And finally, the plan is underway. We get a montage of all of Dre's girls getting ready, Jenny getting hyped about what's to come, and clearly, she's ready.
Black would be more appropriate for the burial of a player.
Yeah, she's serious about this. Dre and David make it to the party. Kilo and Spooty are already there. Shortly after, they spot this lady in pink, and David decides to take his chances, and of course, his boys stay back to watch the disaster unfold.
Hey, baby, come on now. You can't get a little love, can't get a little groove on up in here.
Child, Dre decides to teach Spooty a little something, so he starts talking about sizing up your competition, and apparently there is none.
Check my man out right here in the green.
What you looking at? Oh, snap, it's Arsenio Hallway.
And then this guy.
Now, ain't no real player supposed to have no pager. Why would you want your woman having all that access to you? But your woman should definitely have a pager.
So you can have access to her at all times?
Exactly.
Child, if toxic masculinity was a movie. So Dre's plan to get the girl in the pink's attention is in action. First step, ask a random, less attractive girl to dance. And baby, this girl is excited, okay? She was just waiting for the opportunity, and he plays the hell out of her.
Girl, you got a pretty smile. What's your name?
Nikki.
Child, she is showing out, you hear me? But his plan is working because he's got the girl in the pink's full attention. We go back to Jenny and Katrina, and baby Jenny can't keep the lames off of her. But she finds a way.
What's wrong?
I think I'm seasick from all them damn waves.
They end up spotting Dre as he's dancing with this girl, and after they're done, baby, she done got a whole fan club because everybody's trying to find out how and why. So not cool. So not cool. Dre goes to the bar to get a beer for the girl he was dancing with and bumps into another girl wanting a dance. He promises to dance with her later and goes over to hand off the beer to the girl he was dancing with prior. He requests that she says to dance for him later. He don't really mean that shit, cause as soon as girl in the pink requests to dance, it's checkmate, game over. And Jenny and Katrina are looking at him at disgust. Well, Jenny is. Katrina, not so much.
Well, you gotta give it to him, though. The brother is smooth.
Hit me again.
Baby, Katrina is good as gone at this point. From here, things get interesting because all Dre's girls enter the party right after the other. They end up spotting Amber and know that mission takedown a player has started. And Amber is getting all the attention.
You ain't looking over there. Don't you know I will cut you?
Baby, David starts seeing all Dre's girls and decides to give Dre a heads up. He is shocked, but tries his best to keep his cool. As he walks through the party, he runs into the girl that asked him for a dance earlier. And baby, why was she getting so possessive? You don't even know him.
Don't even trip. I'm his sister.
She's adopted.
Hey.
Another one of his girls runs up to him shortly after, and he's able to tap into her weirdness and get her to go somewhere else. He then promises this girl, yet again, that he will dance with her. Baby, if you don't find someone else, ignoring all the red flags. Dre then runs into this Caribbean girl, and baby, he fakes a whole accent for her. It's then that Dre officially starts to freak out.
Listen, man, we got problems. Every woman I know is in this party.
Child, this weird flower child girl comes up again, asking where's Dre, and David sends her off in another direction. It's soon after that Dre realizes that Jenny and Katrina didn't set him up. It's game time now because Dre is not going to let his sister win. And as he's walking around the party trying to avoid everybody, he gets snatched up.
This is the last dance.
After he escapes that girl's grasp, baby, every corner he turns, it's another girl he's running from. He runs into the Caribbean girl again and then makes up an excuse to go in the bathroom and gets the shock of his life.
I can't believe it. Sherry!
Don't worry, baby. I'm gonna take care of you.
And while all this is going on, Buster enters the scene yet again looking for that philandering wife of his. Child, Dre runs into Amber again just in time to use her as a cover from Buster. He then gets her to leave the party by promising to meet her later for another round of role playing. He then uses this girl as a distraction to get Robin out of his hair as well by having her call Robin's name to bring Buster straight to her and run her out of the party.
Robin! 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 Buster! Busted!
Baby, Robin makes a run for it, but of course, Buster can't keep up in more ways than one. Dre slowly causes distractions for each girl, and this ends up working like a charm. Until...
Yeah. Oh, what's up, Mom? Oh, no! Yeah!
Enter Barbara, who comes to Dre's rescue and takes care of Buster. He then promises her that he will be over her place later to get her to leave the party as well. Then Dre decides to beep each girl and sends them a message to get them out of the party, and they run out. The D must be fantastic, you hear me? Jenny's and Katrina's plan is crashing and burning. Meanwhile, David is still sad and moping around, even declines to dance with this girl. I really hope she got someone to dance with her eventually. And surprise, Nadine has decided to show up to the party. Baby, her hair was giving peak 90s prom hair. But anyway, David apologizes to Nadine and finally admits that he was just trying to be something that he wasn't and makes a sincere plea.
Nadine, I thought I wanted to be something that I'm not, and something I realized I never want to be. I want us to have what my parents have. That forever shit.
And baby, this girl done moved on with Kilo. Child, love that for him. And Spooty is still trying to get at somebody. Anybody.
You ever thought about me boning you in your ass in the rain?
And of course, Drake comes to gloat and further gets under his sister's skin. He also brings up this point to both Jenny and Katrina.
Like if you put a player in a hostile environment like this was, he won't reform. He'll rise to the occasion and thus adapt.
But he didn't know that he planted another seed with Katrina. You'll see this pan out later. But after, Jenny is down and feels defeated and finally admits the truth.
And you know what? It never was about my brother.
Oh, but then things turn around quickly for her and she gets asked to dance by this guy who just happens to be one of the members of Boyz II Men. Love that for her. We then go back to Dre, who's back home and prepping for his girlfriend Lisa's return, but surprise, surprise, Katrina shows up instead. She comes to return the numbers of his women and other evidence that they took, and this was just, she was so obvious. The awkward kisses, the slow walk, the hesitation. Katrina was like, I'm gonna get you, but I'm gonna get what I want first. Let me see what the fuss is about. Whole time they are doing the do, baby Lisa is slowly coming up the stairs. And the crazy thing is, he knew she was on her way and still took that risk. No fucks were given. Not even enough time to air it out. Baby Lisa made it all the way in the house, went up the stairs, and of course, the CYA King had it handled. Child, Katrina was still there, and she snuck downstairs, and baby, his bad, risky decision proved to be fatal for his relationship, cause she sets him up and beats him at his own game. Statistic where? And that's the end of the movie. And here are my final thoughts. Dre was a hot, toxic mess. Similar to A Thin Line and Boomerang and probably a host of other films around this time that followed the reformed player storyline, we see this man treat women like obstacles. However, I think one difference that sticks out to me in this movie is that we get to learn why Dre turned out this way and where this behavior came from. That damn Uncle Fred fucked him up. This fool really said that women look to be played and want to be played. Yeah, Jenny determined that was a bold-faced lie. Dre was out here listening to a decaying pimp that never got married, never had a family, and even if he wanted none of that, he's still doing the same old pimp shit in his 60s. Like, do you not see where this can lead you? And Dre spent so much time covering his ass and hiding evidence, hiding the panties and changing photos and the frames, erasing voicemails, just too much. And then manipulating his girlfriend so that she wouldn't check these things and in turn blame herself for not being trusting and therefore muting her own intuition that was probably screaming. Y'all, this man really met 3 of his women on the way to the barbecue and slept with all of them. Well, 2 of them. He got interrupted with Robin and later slept with Katrina and probably was going to sleep with Lisa. Like, what the hell? But he didn't know that when he vowed to make Katrina a statistic, he truly sealed his fate. Now, Katrina wanted to test the waters. She wanted to know what the fuss was about, but since she already knew what kind of man he was and his true plans for her, she knew to get what she wanted and do what needed to be done to bring his ass down. And all I wish is that the end scene was a little bit longer because I wanted to see Lisa get in that ass. And poor Jenny, she was traumatized by Michael Jones. He did a number on her and made it so that she wanted to bring down any and every man like him, including her brother. I hope she healed in the end and got the love that she deserved. As for David, even though he messed up terribly, I'm glad he was able to realize that he was trying to be something he wasn't, and he succumbed to his true love and desire for Nadine, cause wasn't nothing out in them streets but trouble for him. But anyway, that's it, y'all. I hope you've enjoyed watching this review. Please like, comment, and subscribe if you haven't, and I'll see you guys next time. Bye.